Okay. I'm going to start this one off with something a little bit different. Starting with something that a lot of people might not like, and that's okay. There's a lot of things I don't like, and I don't say anything about. But I will start talking about Star Wars a lot more again. Okay, for a little while I kind of kept it to myself, but no matter how sound of mind my opinion is, I'm still getting a lot of attacks on this. Mind you, I haven't ever done a review in my life. So we're going into episode 3, and to start off, I'm going to play a little video.
What's up, guys? I heard tonight's episode, well...
This is Star Wars Theory, if you don't know.
It's going to be the most controversial and divisive. Regardless what happens, I'm going to be there with you guys, and it's going to be interesting. But I want to leave you with one message. I believe this show will be very divisive for many Star Wars fans. And I just want the
and it already is.
line from your ends to be extremely respectful.
Facts.
And I say this for two reasons. You always got to be a gentleman. Throwing insults and name calling, whatever, doesn't do any good, and it doesn't help prove you look stupid. The other side, and unfortunately there is another side, it's the side, and it's not the side that doesn't like what you like. It's the side that is intolerant of any other opinion that is different from theirs.
100%.
That's the side I speak of. Otherwise, it's normal to have opinions that differ from everyone else.
100%. I don't know at one point that became wrong.
Conclusions, build a better world, having different opinions and finding common ground. Anyways, always express your opinions extremely eloquently, respectfully, and methodically. Why didn't you like the episode? Why didn't you like this? Why didn't you like that? Always be super methodical and well thought out. And of course, above all, be respectful to whoever else you're speaking to.
And the thing is, again, my opinions were just about the showrunners. When you're doing a criticism about a TV show or a movie, you kind of have to look at everyone involved. I don't blame most of the people who were doing the special effects, the costumes, and all the other things that went into the inner workings. It's the people behind the plot. It's the people pushing through the media and the message they want to project. And it's the showrunners and the current owners of Star Wars or Lucasfilm. A lot of them are just very, very toxic. It's just not the way to go about things, and it doesn't matter. We're in a state right now where it doesn't matter what either side says. The extremes are coming out on both ends, and people like me kind of get caught in the middle of it. And unfortunately, no matter what I say, in praise of this show currently, I'm still going to be told I'm some sort of negative, toxic person to the fandom, and to go watch something else, as if I don't enjoy a multitude of fandoms.
Even when they aren't. And this is something that I know can be difficult. You just have to be composed. And you always got to come out of it, looking like James Bond. Be a gentleman. Be respectful. Take the higher ground. Literally. So, whatever happens, man, that's not to say don't rip it apart if it does actually go against, what George told and said and wrote and all that stuff. But, you can do it in a bunch of different ways. And, you always want to take the respectful way and explain things, with a good intention, a good heart. And I think that's the best way to get your point across. So, love you all. I'll see you guys tonight. And may the force...
Alright, so he posted this the day prior to the episode going up, so... Now I'm going to go ahead and watch the show. I usually watch this at night. But I wanted to go ahead and get this out of the way now, so New planet, 16 years ago. Very cool looking place. Force hold, okay. So she has a bit of an understanding of the Force, it seems. May look like she was about to crush that bug, man. May is a dick to bugs. She's that kid that likes to torture cats. That's cute. What's not safe about it? I mean, technically you're both old enough to be outside the walls, but why can't you be outside the walls is the question. Some interesting stuff coming up there. Hey, it's our boy Soul. Why is he stalking them like that? That's weird. Some spice creams. Let's have some spice creams. I think everybody in Dune would be down. Coral a bit sour to her kids. Because I assume these are their daughters. Not normal children, okay? How did they come to be? Something to do with the Force, I imagine. So the belief system is there. It's very similar to the Jedi's. It's just believed to be a thread rather than this energy field. Okay, so they want to become witches. It's not like they understand what Jedi are, or do they know what Jedi are, and that's why they're in hiding? I don't want to hold her hand. Like how just 5 minutes ago they were just holding hands and all happy with each other, and now they're just like at odds. She's speaking facts. She's kind of being forced into this lifestyle, and she doesn't want to be a part of it. This reminds me of Moana's plot. You're not allowed to go out into the ocean because everything you need is here at home. The only difference is it's sisters rather than just being one particular character. So it's kind of, I can't help but see that similarity. I'm curious what the hand dancing does for them. If it's just like a spiritual practice and not anything to do with the Force itself. Why were they exiled, though? I mean, if you're doing unnatural things and doing terrible things with your magic or the Force, it's a lot of burden to put on two kids. Especially now that they're older and trying to find themselves, I imagine they definitely want to split apart from all this. Or at least the one is showing signs that she doesn't want to be a part of this, implying that this is not the all-perfect life they make it out to be. Yeah, her fingers are turning like black. What is that? You cutting off your circulation or something? Oh wow, okay. Branding your kid. Interesting. On her forehead of all places too. Slice the platform? Why are the Jedi so aggressive? Alright. Show me what's going on. Hopefully this is the answer for the last episode. Why has Carrie Ann Moss got the stink face, bro? Don't look at them like that. Training them when they're older could potentially lead. Yeah. It's a Jedi practice that the older the kids are, the more attachments they have and the more dangerous they potentially can be. So that's probably why they had laws against the training. Wow, straight up just says yes, that's what she wants. No one has attacked these women. And they're this looks fucked up. The entire Republic. She's old enough to accept the Coven's teachings, but not old enough to make her own decision. You're conflicting there, ma'am. And even your Coven leader's telling you. There's some dark way of creating the girls. How about you ask next time, bro? Jedi are cool. Oh shit. Oh shit. I'll kill you. Shoulder push. What the fuck was that? Bro, I've seen kids in my dojo fight better than that. Yeah, this is dark. It's such a turn. I don't feel naturally like sisters would disagree, but this is extreme as shit. that was fast. That fire is spreading over stone, by the way. I don't see a whole lot of wood or anything like that. You apparently have nowhere to go, because that fire is already like, holy shit. Does Disney not understand how fires work? No, Lucasfilm, do you not understand how fires work? I'm sure everybody's going to be up in arms about the fires. That is not a main critique of this show. It just looks very weird. Did she kill the Coven? Why would she do this? All these characters just died.
Mama's dead.
Why?
What have you done? What have you done? What have you done?
That back and forth was horrible. Oh. The hell happened to the Coven? Just all dead? What the fuck happened? I'm betting somebody disguised as a Jedi went in and fucked everything up. That's the only thing I could think of. Because she claims later on that the Jedi did kill without, or did take out lightsabers only to kill, or she claims later on that the Jedi did something terrible, and hence this is something terrible. Where are the other Jedi besides Soul? These shows need way more context. I'm missing context, and I get that they're trying to keep it a secret, but they sacrificed the time they could have taken to develop the entire Coven. I mean, you did something stupid and apparently destroyed an entire established. Jesus Christ. Alright, what's the timer on that? That was 38 minutes. Mind you, it was about 8 minutes more than the last one. But I don't... Sometimes it slows down. There's moments like this that I really liked. Because we're introduced to the twins at a younger age, and I found this fascinating. Leading into their relationship with their mothers, which is strict, you know, like especially the one hard ass over here on the left. She's just she's just a tough mom. The thing is, like, we don't have enough time with these people. In fact, I don't know why Disney doesn't take advantage of a full hour or more to make these episodes much more in depth. Because by the time that this coven dies, I don't feel anything. I don't feel anything watching this show, and I really am trying to watch it and give it a fair chance. As you can tell, there's moments in there of brilliance that kind of made me smile and think like that was good dialogue. Those were good moments. Um, Anybody who has a problem with this, even though it's vague, it's obvious that this is a relationship of some kind. She even says she carried the twins and she created them. Now it leads into a new question as to how they were created. It's questionable the way they were created, which tells me that they definitely used some sort of dark manipulation or perversion of the Force in order to do this. If you're trying to tell me that the Jedi being against this is wrong, I'm going to tell you that you're absolutely wrong. Because what they have always practiced is taking in children at a young age to nurture them in the ways of the Force. They are already different. Most of the time that kids went untrained led to a lot of accidents. Sometimes nothing happened. They just were Force sensitive and they never practiced and they lost their touch. It's not unheard of that the Jedi go looking for children at that time. But they're here looking for these two twins who are way older, have obvious ties to their mother, and one thing I enjoyed was the dynamic between the two sisters, this polar opposite thing. Osha just disagreeing and wanting to become a Jedi. I think it's very cool to have characters like that confront their parents and their teachings and start questioning all these things, as you should. Every kid grows up either, super faithful in their parents and everything that they believe in is what they take to heart and practice. And then there's kids who start questioning the life around them. The very people who wrote this show probably went through the same process growing up. And understandably, we find and build our own life, and the only thing I can say afterwards is to find peace within yourself and your family. It's not worth being at odds with your parents. It's just a sad life. If you can't, that's sad as well. But you gotta let it go where you gotta let it go. That being said, the sisters went from one scene saying "I love you" in the quickest way. They kind of forced them to say it even. They like hold hands. I wonder if I can get to that part real quick. Yeah, right here. Like this little segment right here. They're like forced to do things, and like the mom is trying to, or the coven leader, I forget her name. She's trying to like coax them into this lifestyle together as one, and this whole belief system that more than one is stronger. Obviously, even the Jedi at times have to bond together and do things as one. That's why there's a master and apprentice, and there's an entire council of Jedi. But obviously Osha doesn't want to be a part of this lifestyle, which I can completely understand. Being someone who grew up in a Christian household, I questioned a lot of things as well, as to like why we didn't believe in certain things, why we didn't practice certain things, or why we couldn't just let certain people have the lifestyles that they have, like gay relationships and stuff like that. It never bothered me as a kid. I always questioned that. So when I'm watching a show that kind of like contradicts that, but also shows a story where the kids are kind of going through the same thing. They don't the one doesn't accept being in this coven, doesn't want to ascend. It's very relatable, and I was surprised by that. I thought that was a good story point. I just wish that they took their time with it, because if they'd given us another 20 minutes of that, maybe we could have fleshed out the sisters even more and had more touching moments. Because again, it goes from "I love you" to "I hate you" and "I'm going to kill you," very very quick. And then we arrive at the Jedi in their entrance. Again, they are known for practicing taking children at the young age so they can raise them, but I don't remember it ever being forced. And this week's review will probably go over that, and my brother will tell me like what's what. They come off as intimidating, and I understand that. They're strangers in this place, but they are right. You're raising two girls created through the Force. Potentially, could lead to chaos. You don't know what could happen the older they get. Look as a result, without the right training, even here in this coven where they've been practicing, May immediately would be considered a dark side user. The way she turned, even at the beginning, she was like force choking that bug in the air, and she tells her, "I don't like when you do that stuff." So I thought that was way off. Let's see. Yeah, there's a lot of here. There's a lot here that's good, and then there's a lot here that just kind of gets left. Like, I wanted to see this interaction, and they quickly cut away from it in favor of this scene, which is another moment where, like, you're seeing a young Padawan who's been through the training, who's been through, being taken from his home and being led to this lifestyle. This would have been a great moment to have these two connect specifically, and then in the future, like we saw, why it's so deep that May is against the Jedi. Again, more fleshing out, more character development. It's just kind of lost in favor of just kind of hitting these story points as fast as possible. Because although the pacing moves slow, somehow it feels fast at the same time. Like, I feel like there's things that went over my head, or things that just got cut out for the sake of time, I guess. You're an $180 million show. You have plenty of time and resources to make these characters interesting, more interesting. And so far, the only one who fascinates me is Sol and Osha. Osha's relatable. Osha's just a relatable character. And I really like her test here and how Sol tricked her, because he kind of caught on very quickly as to what was going on. Again, more stuff like that would have been great. But again, we're 28 minutes in, and at the 30-minute marker, her sister's telling her that she hates her and wants to kill her. 33-minute mark, but there's that. Then there's going to be what they're going to call a nitpick. They're saying that her sister, this young girl of 8 years old, is behind the entire burning down of this coven's temple. First off, it's made of stone. I don't understand how the fire spread so quickly. It could be argued that there's all these intricate cables and the doors and all that, but the way the fire looks, it almost looks like it's just coming out of the walls. And if you look at set designs and stuff like that, they all but hid the spew of fire. It's just suddenly happening. And then they're trying to convince me that she took down the whole temple. And even to a little kid her age, as practiced as she's been, as trained as she is, I feel like she should have known there was maybe some sort of deception, if that's the route they're going. If you're telling me later that the Jedi were trying to lie and say that, oh, it was your little sister who burned down the entire temple, I don't totally believe that. I have a feeling that something really bad happened in all of this, and they are hiding that truth. Because Torben even says later on, "I'm sorry for what we did to you." So he's guilty of something. At least they are guilty of something. It's just not revealed yet. So they're stringing me along to the next episode, and all this one did was show me a little bit about her background, the sisters, and where they come from. It's adding more intrigue. It's there. It's just I feel like they could have fleshed this out way better. Because when this happens, I don't feel anything. And I'm trying to watch it from the perspective of someone who's enjoying a new TV show. Just, I'm watching a show. That's it. And I'm giving my opinions on it. And so far, I haven't been wowed. I'm not excited or anything. Is it divisive? It might be. But I think it's for all the wrong reasons. I think if you're homophobic, you're just homophobic. Okay? If you're coming at the table saying that, oh, the main characters are black, the main characters are gay, you're already losing the argument and have nothing to do with this conversation. My focus is it good characters? Is there well development? Is the story intriguing, interesting, and does it add more to the lore of Star Wars? So far, it's just giving me a little more questions. What did the Jedi do? What was their actual involvement as to what happened here? How were the girls created? So far, we know that Darth Plagueis was rumored to have been able to create life. Again, another thing to go over in the review so I can get a little more accurate. I don't want to throw out assumptions, but my thoughts so far is that they shouldn't have been able to do that. Not against the will of the Force, anyways. Anakin Skywalker happened because it was the will of the Force to bring balance. There was an imbalance of the Force, and who knows? Maybe they're trying to tell me that this is the reason there was an imbalance. That'd be interesting. It's 100 years before the events of Episode 1. Not too much happens from here on out. It's just kind of the closeout and May crying, and I don't blame her. She lost everything, but it's her fault. She burned down the temple and everything, and I'd like to think that somebody else was in charge of everything else, but if next episode comes and they tell me that it really was her fault that the entire temple and her family of Coven women all died, I don't buy that. That's some hogwash bullshit. Very weak storytelling. Even some of the dialogue at times falters. Especially with the kid actors. I think if you can't hire a good kid actor to do line deliveries or acting, don't go with them. They were just okay. They definitely look like their older counterparts. I can't say I'm excited about the next episode. I'm intrigued by some things, but I would say my rating for this episode is a 4 out of 10. Where it faltered before in story and character development, it falters even further here. I just feel like we're slow walking to the finish line. And in between, there's nothing that's getting me excited to win that race. So, at the end of the day, this review goes up. It's my opinion from a singular person. If I watch and cross-reference other reviews, I imagine we have similar things to say. And I did my best to be as original as possible. If you're liking this show, I'm happy for you. If you find disagreements with this show, as Star Wars Series said at the beginning, come at it with a sound mind. Really think about what you have to say. This weekend, we'll be doing a review of episodes 1, 2, and 3, and it'll be up on the same page. So you guys will be able to see that and more in-depth conversation on our thoughts. So if you are interested in that, catch us then. Otherwise, I'll see you on the next one. Thank you very much.